from That Mommy Life, and today I wanted to go over a fun and easy craft to do now for St. Patrick's Day, and that is a leprechaun mask. St. Patrick's Day leprechaun mask. So as you can see, I've done 2 here already. And these are super simple, super fun, and the kids will love it. My son already took it and took pictures with it and spun around and just ran around the house saying he's a leprechaun. So it's super easy. The best part is you probably already have what you need at home to make this. I will be going over what we need. So we have 4 different color construction paper. We have orange, green, yellow, and black. For this craft, you can easily use a stapler, you can use a glue stick, you can use tape, or you can use liquid glue. Whichever it is that you have, it's all the same. I've done both. I've done one of these I did with a stapler, one with tape and a glue stick, and it all works perfectly fine. As you see, my son, who's 4, runs around with it, and he has not torn them up. So I will be using silicone glue today because I would like to see how it turns out. And you're welcome to get started. So make sure you have your 4 color construction papers, and let's start off with the beard. Very, very simple. There is no science to it. I did not, you can use a pencil to trace if you like the shapes, but I just went with it, and I'll show you how I did it. Go ahead and make sure you have your scissor. I use the edge, right? So I go ahead and start off. If you can see there, I just cut down. And we're going to make just cloud looking, almost like a bubble or a cloud if you want to say. And it's just going around. Pretend you're making, this is not perfect, right? This is just going around little clouds, as I call them. If your child's face is smaller, if you're doing this for a smaller child, you might want to just look at the size of their head or try to measure accordingly. Let's see. So I am going to just cut a little more here. So we're looking for something like this. As you can see, it's not perfect, and that's perfectly fine. Now, what we need to do is the open space here, which almost looks like a U, and I just fold the construction paper a little bit, make a little slit so that I can open it up. And this part, if you feel more comfortable doing it yourself as the adult, or if your child has their own scissors appropriate for their age, that's perfectly fine as well. So what I'm doing now is just cutting the shape of a U. Okay. And I'm just going to cut straight at the top. Okay. Alright. So if after you've done this part, you feel that it might not be big enough for your child's face, you could always measure it, or they can try themselves. You can just open it a little more, and that way it fits perfect. So we've done the beard part. Remember not to cut off the top, as this is where we're going to be stapling, or I should say gluing with our hat part. Easy. This is the easiest actually. So you just need a square and a rectangle, and that is easy. I will be using green, right? So we use the green one, and I just cut straight. As you can see, it's already the shape of a rectangle. I'll just cut that, and then I'll just cut here for a square. Okay. So we have, not perfect again, a rectangle and a square. Alright, so now time for gluing. This is the fun part. Go ahead and glue the square first. And you want to glue it where if you see the orange, you want to make sure you don't see the orange, right? Right there is fine. Just like that. Again, I'm using silicone glue because I already did this with the glue stick and the stapler and the tape. So I just wanted to see how this turned out. A little bit more messy, I see. You might want to stick to the glue stick, as with kids, you know, it's easier to. All right, so here we go. That part is done, right? Now we're going to go ahead and put our rectangle right on top, like this. So here you can see we've got the rectangle. Just glue that part right on top. Okay. There you go. Right. Now we're going to be making the black strip that goes on top on the hat, right? Let's see here. It's just a thin. Again, I am not measuring. I'm not, you know, sizing anything. This is pretty just eyeballing it, as they say. I'm just going to paste that there, and then I'm going to cut it. There you go. So now I'm going to be pasting this one. All right. There goes that. So we should have something like this. Now we're going to be making the yellow rectangle that goes right on top, which is super easy and simple. First, you want to make sure to cut. Again, I'm not measuring, so it's not something that you need to take size. Just eyeballing it is perfectly fine. And I think that's what makes this craft the easiest, because you don't have to worry about measuring and sizing. This is what it looks like, right? And I'm going to go ahead and fold it a little to make a little slit so that I can cut in between, because we do need to make a rectangle right in the middle. All right. So you should have something like this, right? And I'm going to be pasting it right on top of, in the middle, right on top of the black, like this, okay? Okay, so we have this one here. All right, so we should have something that looks like this. So far, this is what we have. Now we're going to be doing the part that goes to help it strap to the back of the head and stay. I've tried this technique, which is just pretty much the same black construction paper. Go ahead and you can just cut two long, I guess, strips and staple them together and put it on. I find that it's also, you could do the rubber band. You can make a little hole right here and have a rubber band tied all around. That way it stays firm if you're going to be using it for a long time. I think that'll be worth it. But this one is the easiest, I think, to take off and put on for the kids, as they like to take it off and put it on. They just love that part. So what I'm going to be doing is using the black one. And I'm going to use the long way to make it easier. And this is not any specific size, again. I'm just cutting two long strips. I'm going to be gluing it. Okay, so I glued it there. You see it's two together. And I think this part, the best way to do it here is measure the size of the child's head. This way you know, for example, like this, where to glue it together and put it. So that way when he puts it on, he or she puts it on, it's firmly on it. I'm going to be just gluing this. And I'll put a little bit of glue right in the middle where I'm going to be putting it together. This here. As you can see, I'm using glue again because I've done it with the other materials, which is glue stick, stapler, or tape. Let's go ahead and glue this here. Alright, so at the end you should have something that looks like this. This is what you should have, something like this. Again, there's nothing perfect, no perfect shape that comes out. It's fun, it's easy, and it's super duper super fun for the kids. They will love it. Try making these, and thank you today for sitting and viewing how to make this easy St. Patrick's Day mask. Thank you again, and see you at thatmommylife.com. Have a good one. Enjoy your holiday.